Welcome everyone to Wake the Nation. We're back once per month, but we're going to be off for the summer. So let me just put that out there. We will be off for the summer. But for right now, oh, wait, am I muted? Let's see. Um, I think I'm muted. Hold on.
No, I hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, great.
Okay.
So here we are again, Wake the Nation. Yes, we are. My name is Florencia Chang-Ageda, and we have Mrs. Thais Love and Kamali Vernon and Mrs. Crystal Collier. So here we we are Wake the Nation and tell the people that anytime we come with a topic, we are addressing something that is important to us as a people and a nation as we grow. Okay. So tonight we are talking about friendships. But before we get into friendships, who knows what their strengths are? So we took a test, and if Kamali can just post it on the screen, even if we haven't finished it, we'll come back and tell or write it in there. It's discover the best part of yourself. It tells you what your strengths are. So I will start to say what my strengths are according to this test. Let me know if you ladies agree. Okay, so number one, I'm an optimist. So you can take it down, almost. So I am considered to be an optimist, deliverer, peacekeeper. Those who know me, doesn't that sound like me though, kind of, sort of? I think. Deliverer, peacekeeper, self-believer. Well, I don't know if I'm a self-believer like I'm a Jesus believer, but anyway, I think it goes the same because the Spirit of God is within me. Okay. And coach. So do you agree with the assessment there? Okay.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
else got theirs? Who wants to go?
One.
Crystal, you
I'm finishing mine up now.
okay, so you and
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Deacon Love are finishing. Okay,
I'll go.
Kamali, you want to
That's
go?
fine. Yeah. So I have timekeeper, deliverer, peacekeeper, thinker, and problem solver.
And she's a thinker. And but I agree with that. I do agree with that assessment. Yeah. So you two ladies are completing yours. What number are you on?
I got
Um,
4 more.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I'm on
righty.
I'm on 72.
All right. So we'll just keep going at it. And while you ladies are finishing up, I want to share a proverb. And this proverb comes from the book of Proverbs 18 and 24. And it says, there are friends who destroy each other, but a real friend sticks closer than a brother. You know, one of my very good friends, she wrote recently that, you know, back in the day, friends did not abandon friends. Like you go to the club or you go out, you know, you didn't abandon your friend for a man. You didn't go drinking without your friend. Listen, if one person has to go to the bathroom, everybody goes to the bathroom. Somebody meets somebody, nobody's leaving with anybody, everybody is going home together. If a person is designated to drive, when the last person is dropped home before the driver gets home, then everybody calls the driver to make sure that the driver is there. And I mean, think about it, in these days everybody has a cell phone, so the driver can actually stay on the phone with someone, right, while to make sure that they get home safely. So, you know, before you had to wait to call the person on the landline, right, Deacon?
Yes. Yes, that's right.
It wasn't, you know. But so what do you think today? Because the thing about it is, that we've heard of people being kidnapped. I remember I read I don't remember what the entirety of the article was, but was it a sister or a friend that went to, was it Mexico? Come, we had talked about this, didn't we? The person went away on vacation, and the person left the other person there, and then they came up miss. Did they die? I don't remember. It was in the news.
Yeah, I don't recall the details, but I think that was a
The
sister.
Yeah.
the person they got murdered. I remember
Oh,
that in the news. Yeah.
it
The
was.
first
It
first they
was.
were first they were missing, and then they
Yes.
found the person
Wow.
was dead. And it was the groundskeeper or something, some guy's
Nice.
security at the hotel where she was at, that actually did it.
Yeah. I don't believe when folks are going away on vacation as friends or even family, sometimes it's siblings that go on vacation. Parents are always on top of everybody. Where's everybody? But, sometimes people get laxed and, where's your sibling or where's your friend? Oh, they're in the hotel or they're down by the beach. Oh, no, no. Especially, it should be a buddy system, right? Because we know that real friends stick closer than what? A brother. That's Proverbs right there. So, friends ought to have each other backs, look out for each other. And, unfortunately, in this era, there are folks who say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And then there are also those who say you keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. I don't agree with either one of that. Okay. Listen, if they're the enemy of my friend, then they're supposed to be mine too. Can't be bonding with somebody just because that means that the person who you consider your friend is not really your friend. And then why keep your enemies close? For what reason do I want my enemies close to me? No, Jesus save them or do something with them. Okay. All right. Okay. So did you complete yours, Crystal?
I
Okay.
did, I
So
did.
what's yours?
And my top strength was empathizer.
Oh, that's you.
All right. Believer,
That's you.
problem solver,
That's you too.
strategist,
That is you.
and brainstormer.
Wow. It really, now I'm curious to know what deacons.
I know.
And if you looked at your results, there's a little drop down. It'll describe, there's a description of each one.
Yes, I did see that.
So it's I I only brought this up because I thought it would be in any environment, whether it's work, because this is something that I do use at work, similar to what we use in psychology called a 16 personality test. But
Mhm.
it really helps you to see how well people fit together.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so it in a professional setting, it tells you how to to build teams because based on your strengths. But I also think I think it's just cool. Sometimes I'll send this to a person to see okay, let's see if we are really similar, because a lot of people will be like, oh, you're just like me. And sometimes that's a manipulative thing because they want to make you like them because they sort of envy you.
That's true. Look at Kamali's eyes.
It can be used as a tool for control and manipulation when someone says that. So, Kamali's eyes. When I said that.
What do you have to say when you're finished, Crystal? We
Because
yield the
it's
floor to
true.
Crystal
I
after.
know we've all been experienced someone and that has said that to us, like, "Oh, you're just like me," and you go,
And they're not.
"No, I'm not." But
You don't even
they
know me.
you don't even know, right? But they use it as a tool to get close to you and sort of manipulate you and sort of leech off of you. And then when they're done, we just drifted apart.
Mm. Did your best friend take this test,
No,
Chrissy? Okay.
no.
Okay.
I don't believe that she would. She'd be like, "Oh, this is a lot of reading."
Okay,
Send
Cam,
it to
your
her,
eyes
and
were
she might
bulging
take it
out.
in free time, but I don't think it. She'll be like, "Ugh."
Okay. So Cam, your eyes were bulging out. What do you have to say?
Oh yeah, no, I just agreed with what Crystal was saying. Like I have experienced that, many years ago. And I do remember telling Crystal about that too. I don't know if she remembers, but yeah, I had a friend. Um, and until I realized that friendship was toxic because this person did exactly that when they're like, we are just alike, we are the same person. And I'm like, no, we're not really though. And they certainly tried to get close to me, close to my family, and it got weird, like trying to become me almost. And
That's true.
it was a
That
lot.
that was true. They really did. She really did. It
And there
was
are
weird.
some people that can be good for. You really have to pray to discern the difference, because there are some people that look at it that way and they're like, "Oh, I can learn a lot from you. Let me imitate you," to be honest. But when you can pick up on that toxicity and then distance yourself, it's really good, because I've been in a situation where I'm like, "Oh, they're toxic," and I picked up on it. And instead of distancing myself from them, what I did was sort of compete with them. "Oh, you like that? I like this." No, and it was a lie. That's not what I like. I was just going to try to show them that I was different from them somehow. And
Yeah.
then that in turn made me toxic, because now I'm not
Right.
happy.
Oh
But
no.
we have to, I think a lot of people do that, and we have to be careful of it, because you really need to discern whether you need to uh, separate from that person. And if you can, sometimes it can be difficult, because sometimes those people end up, in work.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, with that person, it was difficult because I kept them close to me for longer than I should have. But I think I was trying to help them, and I was like, okay, this person's very unhappy, and like,
Whoops, sorry.
I will, I'll be there for them. You know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, they're kind of taking advantage, and I can't do this anymore. And I realized that a little, later than I feel like I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's sort of been there. Some people are in denial. They will continue to let that person sort of take advantage. So it's good that, you recognize that. I recognized it, but first couple times I was just like, "Oh no, we are different. I'm gonna show you."
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
Yeah.
it's been my experience that, yeah, people try to get close to me um right away, but they don't go, "Oh, well, you and I have so much in common." Because I mean, when they try to do that, I come right out. "No, you don't even know me. So how can you say that? You don't know me.
That's true.
We just met just now. So what are you talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe you want to be like me based on what you saw in these past few seconds of getting to know me, but you don't know me." So, and I tell people straight up and down, I'm not rap type. Jesus makes it all look good, but I'm not rap type. I tell them up straight up. So if they think they want to be me, they'll think twice.
Yeah. We
So
should all want to be ourselves.
Right.
But yeah. So did you finish your test?
I
Oh,
am coming down the stretch,
okay.
I think. Feel excited.
But friendships are important, right? And they help us in life. And I've had some friendships that last. My friendships usually tend to last. Not that I have had folks who I thought were close friends and then they just like dropped off the map. So I don't know what happened there, but
Fizzled
my
out.
huh?
They sort of
Fizzled.
fizzled out.
Ooh. But basically, my friendships tend to like bond into like a family kind of a oh, now we're sisters or brother and sister, that kind of a relationship. And it's so close. But remember, Jesus had friends. Okay,
Right,
the Bible
right.
says Mary, Martha, Lazarus were his buds, like those were his friends. And whenever he spent a lot of time with them, when you look at the Bible, you realize he was always going to where they lived, and he stayed with them. He stayed in their house, and they were close friends. I'm like, why didn't they write part of the Bible to say what went on when they were with Jesus? But anyway, um, there's a scripture also that says in order to become a friend, you have to show yourself friendly, right? So um you know sometimes we think that we don't have friends, but sometimes we can be antisocial, or but I always believe that the Lord should choose your friends, because listen, baby, we don't know what is in here. Like that person that my daughter talked about, at one point I thought they were, well, sort of, the person did have issues, and we did pray for her, but then I saw something that I was like, wait, no, you what? I was like, no, Jesus, handle this child, please, in the name of Jesus. So, as you said, sometimes someone can look at you and say, you know what, I like who you are, and I just like your company. So, we're going to become friends. Other times it can be, I'd like to be like you, not in a bad way, but I like the things you do, the things you stand for. But then you have those who, like, they plain straight up want to be you. That God created each of us as an individual. We should never envy anybody to try to be like them. Anybody ever saw the movie Single White Female? That
Not
was a horrible movie. You heard about it, Moss?
heard of it, never watched it though.
Oh, try to become. But did you know, a few years ago, there were, I don't remember if there were twins, but there were sisters. I think they were Asian or they were mixed. Um, and the one sister killed the other and took over her identity, which made no sense to me. Like at the time, I think if it was on, what was it, the thing, 48 Hours or one of those shows that's on television, but like she never even had a real reason why. Like she was just like, she was better than me. She always had the, what is it, one of the things she said, like the good boyfriends. Like it made no sense.
Yeah.
I think I
She-
saw that. I think I saw that.
Because it was
Um,
in the news. It was in the news, and then they did the, what's it, 48 Hours or one of those shows. But it
yeah,
was in the news too.
yeah.
Because it was in, I think, our area. But
There were, I didn't see that one, but I did hear about the twin sisters who had this really odd bond, such that they didn't speak to anyone else until they were 12.
wow.
And they would talk to each other in this made up language. And they only understood each other. Nobody else understood what they were saying. And it was really weird because they would write a lot, but they only spoke to each other until they were 12, and even then they barely spoke to other people.
Really?
Um, Eventually, they went on this really weird crime spree,
No.
and yeah, and ended up in a mental institution. And then they
Wow.
kept them separate because they realized it was dangerous to keep them together. And then one of the twins died, and the other one had said she was glad to be free of the bond.
Wow.
Wow.
She's like, I love my sister, but I'm glad to be free of a bond of whatever this was. So she only spoke after one died.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Really odd.
Yeah, that's really odd. That's some odd bonding right there. But as friends, we do bond. In friendships, we do form bonds, but we have to be careful of the bonds we form. As I said before, to make the statement, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, says that, you know, or the enemy of my friend is my, whichever way they say it. I'm just not liking those, or keep your friends close and your enemies closer. No, like why? Those I think those call for toxic relationships, and we have to be careful who we bond with or who we allow into our spheres. And the one thing that if the test that we put up, like I'll post the link so you can take it. It's good to know your strengths so that even within a friendship, and that can work even in a marriage, because if
Yeah.
you know that, what your strengths are, then you can, combine them. Remember, there are certain couples, they say power couples. Have you heard of power friendships too? There are people who have business, they were friends and went into business and became billionaires because of I guess, I don't know if they took tests, but they complemented each other and they were reliable and trustworthy. And so friendships can really, really help, you know, it, you know, it can be, and it can also lead you down the rabbit hole if you have the wrong friends that can take you on crime spree or alcoholism. you know I remembered, uh, well, both are deceased now, so I won't mention any names, but two people, and they formed a bond. Like it was such an okay, so they were friends with other people, let's put it that way. But the people they were friends with didn't drink, but these two started to drink and they became friends. But that drinking caused both of them to die. One
Mm.
had cirrhosis of the liver, and the other one had cancer.
Mm.
And the doctors, both their doctors said it was the excessive drinking that caused that, because they just drank a lot on their off time. So one of the reasons why I'm talking about friendship, and I would like you ladies to tell me about some of your friendships that you've had. How have they benefited you, or do you think your friends benefited from your friendship, you know, or either way? But yeah, who would like to
So
Crystal?
so I'll say I've had a lot of people I've called friends. Um, and some turn out to, of course, not be friends, and some turn out to be what I now recognize as assignments. Um, because
There are those.
certain people are in your life for a time, and some people will say that and say, "Oh, uh, they're not my friend anymore." Though, and I recognize that now as they at the moment they were my assignment.
Mm.
So, um, just like we were saying earlier, like sometimes you see the need where you can help someone, right? Like you see that and you're like, oh, I can help them. You don't have to think of things that way, or maybe I can help them do a specific task, whatever it is. But I recognize those now, and remove, like, I guess the feeling from it of like sort of betrayal, or they don't talk to me anymore, whatever that I felt behind that, and turn it into, okay, well, they were my assignment at the moment. If I felt that way, then I have to recognize there was some truth to that. Yes, I helped them. That doesn't mean they were supposed to stay my friend.
True. That is.
Um, and then, the few that have lasted, I'm not the type of person, and it's something that, we could talk about too. I'm the friend that you don't have to call me every day and I will still love you. You could talk to me once a month and it would be like, we never left.
Yeah, that's true.
And some people are more, I don't want to say needy, but for lack of a better word at the moment, they can be very needy. You didn't call me yesterday,
Clingy.
or I haven't heard from you, or where have you been? As soon as you pick up the phone, like, okay, let you get used to this now. Like it's just like, okay, everybody has lives and we have to sort of respect that. It's nothing personal.
Yeah.
And some people do take friendships really personal, such that, and this is just the type of, and this is where I think the personality test can be helpful, come in, because, if you need to talk to your friend all the time, then you need to find a friend that you need to talk to all the time that feels the same way. And
Yeah.
in the same strength, if you have a friend and they always want to be in control and you are too the same person, that's
Mm.
not going to work. You might love that person, but you're always going to find yourself bumping heads.
Yes. Yes.
So I say all that to say, because of the way I am, I think some people are sensitive to that and they're like, oh, well, I don't hear from you. So I stopped calling, I stopped texting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, Cam?
Same boat, or a very similar boat. I am definitely like a low maintenance friend, and I like to have low maintenance friendships. You know what I mean? Like I can't do the you need me all the time kind of thing. I like the, yeah, you know we haven't spoken in some weeks or a month and everything's fine. You know what I mean? Like I like that. But I think for me, my experience is I would, as you said before, like how the friendships that you have, mom, that they are like, okay, they're so close, they're like family. And then, with Crystal, like I know you have, like, your best friend and you guys have been friends for, well, a very long time.
Yes, they've been
And
friends for a long time.
I admire that, and I wish I had that. Like I don't. You know what I mean? Like I have some like casual friends, and I'm just like, oh, I don't have that kind of like long term, like, yeah, like we've been friends for so long, this person knows me so well, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just hasn't happened. But maybe one day. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yes,
just too low
it,
maintenance and too like late.
it can happen because I didn't have friends like that growing up, to be honest. My cousin actually was my friend in high school, and so that's it. But yeah, I didn't. So it's okay. In adulthood, you can develop, those bonds, because I developed those bonds when I became an adult, really. Yeah.
I,
Deacon?
I I'm sort well, when I was younger, I had my college friends, even I had a best friend um in junior high school. She went to junior high school with me, high school with me. She even went to college with me, and we graduated college together. And I thought she and I were going to be friends forever. She was my longest standing friend, but she got married a little bit after we graduated college. And as soon as she got married, she cut me off. She didn't want to be bothered with me anymore as a friend. And she said it was because she felt a way that I always did things in life first. I got married first. Between the two of us, I had children first. Between the two of us, I was living on my own first, and she just felt that she wanted to have a first.
She was
Um,
never your friend.
right, basically. But all those years, I mean, I thought she was my friend, and loved her like a sister. And then I had another friend that was my friend since college, and she's the godmother of my children and everything. And we've known each other a long time. Um, love her like a sister even now, but I understand that even with close friends like that, Ecclesiastes 3 helps me to understand that there's a time and a season for everything. And so with that friend, we're still friends, but we're not close friends like we were. I used to talk to her at least twice a day.
Wow.
And, you know, after, after I had divorced my children's father, that was a defining moment for her. And so we kind of distanced apart somewhat when that happened. So now I don't talk to her twice a day. I may talk to her maybe twice a year. And so, we just kind of grew our separate ways. So I think that's what would happen there. But when I saw that our friendship was growing apart, um, I grieved. I grieved it because it happened uh, a little bit after my divorce. And so I thought that she was going to, be my friend
Yeah.
forever also. And, that's not what happened. I mean, we're still friends. It's just that we're not as close as we used to be. And, I from that experience, I learned that, okay, there's a time and a place, for everything, and there's a season for everything. And so, although she and I are not as close as we used to be, I am not friendless. And I watched the Lord pick my friends for me. Because when and I that's what I do. It's easier to let God pick my friends for me than me to try to pick my friends, because I understand that I'm not typical, and a lot of times, even though people want to get to know me, a lot of times they don't get me. Some of the things that I do, some of the things that I'm into, some of the things that I say, they don't get me. And so it's difficult to be close friends with someone that, you don't fully understand, or you don't, you don't uh, have a lot in common, or some of those things that you have in common, they're not, the major things that's really, really close to my heart, we don't have in common. Like that other friend, she was my friend for years, and we were close. We talked every single day, twice a day, but she didn't quite get my spiritual side. She'd be like, oh, there you go with that holy roller Jesus stuff. Okay. And we would, I couldn't talk to her about any of that, and that was very much a part of me, still is, but that wasn't something that she, was into. And, you know, uh, it kind of like, like I felt like I could get real with her, but so much. I couldn't, just be my full self, So if we were talking and, I was giving a testimony or something and I felt like I wanted to shout, because I was excited, she'd be like, oh, okay. It doesn't take all of that. We're not going to do that. Calm down.
No.
People are looking, and I'm like, well, why this is how I roll. So, why is it a problem with you? And, just little things like that, help me to understand, okay, we're not going in the same direction.
Yeah. Time for a time.
Yeah. So, but I learned that even with friendships, There's time and season
Yeah.
for them, even the expiration date. But when you let God choose your friends,
Yes.
he knows you. He knows you well. And he will literally, and it's been my pleasure and experience that he will put the right people in your life, in your circle at the right time.
Yes.
And the two of you or more of you can move forward in the same direction and strengthen each other. And to me, that's the best. That's the
Amen.
best kind of friend to have.
Yes. Thank you. I agree with that. And my kids, I always prayed for God to select their friends,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You
Me
know,
too. Yes.
yes, because, I think that it is important, especially in the times we're living in where people are very deceptive. And I've known of people to have done some really devious and dark things. So, for that reason, I usually like, Lord, please select their friends, select their work friends, select their school friends, select their friends that will be in their lives. And not just for them, but for myself, for my spouse. I ask the Lord that because it's imperative, because He knows everyone. So, what advice do you have, ladies, from the youngest to the? What advice do you have for folks who are either seeking a friend or trying to be a friend?
Um, well, first of all, um, get to know yourself, because if you don't know who you are, it's difficult for you to know what you like and how you interact with others. If you're not kind to yourself, it's very difficult for you to be kind to others, um, especially those that's not like you. So get to know yourself so that you know your limitations or your expectations and all of that. I would say ask God to pick your friends. It's just been my experience that it saves you a lot of heartache
Yes.
and drama
Yes.
when you let God pick your friends. And then number three, um, uh, involve God in your other relationships, including family relationships, um, because God knows how to resolve conflict, um, and uh, help you along with that other person or those other people come to a place of unity and being on one accord so that it's less conflict. So that's what I would uh, advise.
Amen. Other
So
lady. Thank you. Thank you, Deacon Love, Chaplain, Crystal or Kamali.
I'd say that I completely agree with everything Miss Love said. Um, I'll add that I think it's important to have a relationship with God, because some people just cling to people more than they do Him.
That's true.
I agree.
And just like you said, in those moments when you allow God to select your friends, you don't have to feel so protective. You can finally feel vulnerable with your friends, and that's a true friend, somebody you can truly be vulnerable with,
True.
be yourself with, and
Yeah.
not pretend to be anybody else, differences and all. um, I will say, if you're ever confused about friends,
Well,
pray about it. And I would say discern their intentions,
Yeah. I
because
like
I
that.
think intentions are mean a lot.
Yes.
So that has definitely helped me when it comes to friendships.
Very good. Very good. Kamali. Thank
I
you,
don't have
Crystal.
anything else to add. I agree with everything Miss Love said and with everything Crystal just said.
I do agree with everything that was said. It is important, and we know that in selecting our friends, that we should ask God to select our friends, because such an integral part of my life. Like if you know me, there's something I'm going to say something about, and it's not like I'm pretending. It's just going to come out. It's just like I would talk about my kids, right, Chrissy? It's just that part of me. And so if someone's going to say, oh no, then it's going to that actually happened to me once, that someone said, don't talk to me about the Lord. And I said, okay, well,
Me
um,
too. Me too.
mm,
That has
it
happened to
was
me.
a pleasure.
Um,
It's happened to me.
Me
happened to
too.
me.
Me too.
But
Happened.
the person came around though, because I actually said, well, I'm sorry. This is me. So I guess we're not going to talk anymore.
Right. Right.
And we didn't talk for a little while, and then they apologized. And today we still talk. Yeah. And
Yeah, that
now
happened to me
they're,
too. That person came around and then the next
yeah.
time I saw them, they were apparently holier than me. And
Their walk is
see,
different with the Lord.
see what you inspired.
wanted to
Yeah,
take me
right?
to their church. And let's just say their church was not for me either. But some
Right.
people are very strong-willed in what they think and believe in their walk. I just not going to discourage anyone in their walk. I also say, just popped up in my head, don't ignore the red flags, because I had a friend at one time told me she did not want to be my friend because I was prettier than her.
Wow.
What?
She's like, she does not have friends that are prettier than her.
Oh, I've known that. I've known a couple of people that have said that they don't keep friends that are pretty, because
Or
then they
smart.
have to compete with them, right? They don't. There are people who, and I remember folks saying, oh, I only surround myself with ugly people. So sorry. Yeah, but
Right.
that's just it. And then
That's
you have,
so sad. I
and then
just
you have
find that to be
those,
so sad.
you have
You end up trying
others.
to prove yourself because, like, but I'm nice. I'm really nice.
That's so
Listen,
sad. And then for the people who select only ugly people to be their friends, what are you saying? Are you really friends with the ugly people?
no, they're not friends. Just like,
Yeah, because you're telling them, look, I only want you around because you're ugly. Really? What?
there are people like literally like that.
So
And then
surface.
there are others that if you're not good looking, you can't be part of their clique,
Right.
Yes.
entourage. Okay. Cause they don't want to be associated. Oh no. So
Right.
you,
I actually know someone too who has said that they like their friends with low self-esteem.
no, no, listen.
Those
Yeah.
So
people are
do you,
dangerous. Like,
what
doesn't
did you
it
say?
sound really manipulative? Like, I need to be the one, like, hold myself here and then surround myself with people I think I'm better. That's awful and incredibly insecure.
It
I don't like
sounds
that.
narcissistic.
Yeah, it's like
It's
that
not
shows
just
you what that
narcissism.
person's heart is like. I don't like that at all.
Nobody needs to be around that person. No, seriously. I think that when we come together as friends or, family, that we're there to enhance each other and to help each
Yeah,
other and to help
champion
each other
each
to
other.
grow, that nobody should really keep the other down. And so like I love who the people who God has placed in my life, because he, like, he's
Amen.
amazing. He's amazing. Yes, Molly, go ahead.
I will say, I was thinking about friendships recently, right?
Uh-huh.
Like in the past year and like with COVID and all of this, and I'm like, oh yeah, there are people, and then I'm like, I haven't heard from this person for a while. It made me think about that particular friendship and like, were we really friends or not? You know what I mean? Like if I'm the one doing the checking up on all the time and like otherwise it's radio silent, I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on here, you know? But then there is someone where I'm like, okay, I think this person is a real friend when, you know, when I was doing things and when I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply, and they were like so excited for me when I said, oh, I applied and I got in, and they were like super excited, and I was shocked by that. I was like, wait, you're like excited and congrats. You know what I mean? Like I didn't expect that. And I was like, wow, this is a person who's like, yeah, they are all for like us championing each other and like
Yes.
pushing each other forward. And like I really appreciate that because that's the kind of person I want to have around me. You know what I mean? Like coming from friendships I've had in the past, like in high school, where it's like that competitive thing, you know, like quick story. I had a friend from high school who reached out of the blue. I won't get too descriptive, but we met up, and I it really made me think of just like how much I've grown as a person, and just like the way that they were, you know, the way that they talked, they're kind of like similar to being like, okay, superficial, like I, you know, want to hold myself up here and other people are down there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like spending like that couple hours together, I'm like, there's no way we can be friends today. It's just like I just can't be around that kind of person where everything is like me, I'm doing so great, and like, what are you doing? Or you're not doing this. Oh, that's too bad because I'm doing this. And it's like, it's not a competition. Like just
We
be
can
happy
all
with where
win.
you are in life. Yeah, like we're all on our journeys, and like I I don't want to compete. I want for us to like help each other, you know, and support each other. And that person was not about that. So yeah, that kind of showed like, yeah, I don't know, we were friends back then, but it is not happening now.
It's not happening now.
Mm.
Well, Shireen Fate says those are people who are dealing with insecurities. She says, by the way, Grace and Peace, she loves this discussion, and that the other people that you were talking about are people who want to be in control. That's the one that says they need people with low self-esteem. They clearly they want to be in control. Like, go get a puppy dog. All right, like, why do you want to control a person? Seriously. So yeah, we have to be careful of and as Crystal said, know who we are and ask for the spirit of discernment, because everybody that comes into our lives really does not, and as Kamali said, you know, that finding out, like, as you know, when we were having BLM, Black Lives Matter, and to know that I had someone who said to me that I didn't even think that they were thinking about what I was going through. And out of the blue, I got this text that says, I don't really understand what it is you're going through, but listen, if I have to stand in front of you, I will, but I know that I'm right standing by your side. I'm just like, whoo, and that lifted me, you know. And so it can be surprising sometimes that people who you hear from occasionally that says, hey, how are you? How's your day going? And you're like, hey, and you check up on each other every so often. And then you know, you're in a crisis and you find out they'll jump in. Like, I remember Crystal doing things for a friend of hers, and I'm like, this girl would go Crystal, like, the girl had a broken leg driving somebody. I was like, girl, God bless you.
Wow.
She, but you know what?
That's
She's a giver, and I understand that. And she's an empath, and I understand that too. And I think
Mhm.
basically all of us on here have similarities. So we do go above and beyond for folks. And it's just who God has created us to be. And I wouldn't change it for anything, because God is a giver and He's created us. You know what it is to know that you have a heart like Christ? It's like, it's very, I don't know. Like, and like you said, Deacon Love, sometimes folks don't get you at all. There are folks who, like, why do you do it? Why do you keep doing that? Like, how do you do that? Or it's some folks who say, wait, you getting paid for that? No. And sometimes they make you feel like you're foolish, but
Yeah.
I think as long as I'm on assignment from the Lord, I will never be foolish because I'm always going to do what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
So,
And I think
So
that
true.
says a lot about a person's character. And like, you know, so if you're doing good things for people, it doesn't have to be for money or for status. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing it because God wants you to do it, and you're just being obedient. And like, that's like character. You know, some people do things just because they want someone to owe them, or because they want, you know, whatever from it, and it's not about that.
Right, right. And I'd also add that if we do come across people like these, that anyone that we've mentioned or anyone that raises a red flag, that you do take a moment to pray for them.
yes.
Distance yourself, but pray for them because that is
Absolutely.
a sickness that spreads very easily.
Mercy. But also, what do you think about the ones who do things for you or for anyone and they're like, well, I did that for you. Or, there are folks who will do things for you and like, or they'll buy you this pen and they're like, here, Florencia, did you know that this pen costs $50 and I bought it for you? Like, you want to say, you know what? Here's the pen. Thank you very much. I don't really need it. I don't need it that much, okay? Because I might go sell that $50 pen and go take the $50 and help some folks who need something.
Oh,
So, and they might not like it. So, keep your pen. Yeah, but there are those folks who do that. And I think maybe they do that so that you'll be beholden to them. But you have to remember that the scripture says, whatever you give, you get back liberally. So when you give with a grateful heart, you get that back many times over. So there's really no reason to hold any. I honestly don't believe in holding people hostage. And I'm one that I will not be friends with people who hold people hostage. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I believe in, there was a saying, and I remembered I had bought this plaque. If you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. I just believe that you have to not, like, you can't hold, like, God doesn't force himself on anybody. And I don't think that we
that's
should.
it.
If God's not doing it, then he gave all of us free will. So, if someone doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, then Godspeed. Okay? Godspeed. My brother or sister, Godspeed. And I think that we should just value friendships. I think when COVID came into play, it shows us the value. For those who didn't know it, I think it showed the value of relationships because so many were gone like that. Some people never got a chance to even say goodbye. And until today, you can't even go to the hospital with anyone, pretty much. So I would say value, know whose you are and know your value, your strengths, and then know who you're allowing, and but before that, let God select. And as Deacon Love, Kamali, and Crystal said, when God selects it, you don't have to worry about it because he will maintain it. And that's the truth. He maintains the friendships he brings together. He really, really does. So with that being said, if anyone has any closing remark, because we're at the end, and I just want to say before closing and before your closing remarks that this was a soft topic, but it's just as important because friendships can help you in life and they can hinder you. So it's important. And the next topic though will be a hard one, so come prepared. And
I
your closing
I wanted
words.
to say also, you know, uh, choose your friends or be mindful about who you keep in your close circle or your inner circle, because you're absolutely right. The influence of your friends, your peers can make or break you. Um, don't be friends with or keep people who don't mean your best interest at heart. If they're not, considerate of your best interest, you don't really want those people around you. Many people have died because of uh, their friendships. Um, especially, our young people. I pray for my children's friends as well, because I know how easily, um, your friendships can, you know, um, lead you into confusion, even danger. Um, Last week, April 7th, it was Alcohol Screening Awareness Day. Okay. And that day is about going and getting alcohol screening, where you can find out just how much alcohol is in your body. Um, a lot of times, particularly, on college campuses, you know, um, freshman year, you're new to the campus, you want to make friends, you want to impress people. And a lot of our young people, particularly our males, but very often our females as well, they will engage in activities where there's a lot of drinking, and they use the binge drinking to kind of, make friends or become popular. And so they'll get invited to a party. Some of them don't know these people that invited them to this party, but they figure, well, I'm at college and I'm grown now, or almost grown, and I can go to this party and I'm going to go with the flow and do whatever it is that they're doing. And then they're offered shots behind shots behind shots of alcohol, and they are dared or pressured to, keep taking the shots. And a lot of times, these young people wind up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning, near death, simply because they wanted to make friends, or they wanted to be with an in crowd, or they wanted to impress someone. And, you know, that need not be. Studies show that 40, 59% of college males and 47% of college females engage in binge drinking at least one or more times per month. Okay. Binge drinking is when you consume a lot of alcohol in a very short period of time. So, for example, you take 8 shots of whatever within an hour or two. That's a lot of alcohol being absorbed into your body in a very, very short period of time. Your body gets, overwhelmed with that, and you can go into cardiac arrest, you can have a stroke, you can go into a coma, you can die. So I just wanted to, put that public announcement out there in honor of alcohol screening awareness day and month. Your real friends don't let friends drive drunk. Real friends don't encourage friends to drink them, to binge drink. Okay, so thanks so much for just letting me put that in there. But yeah,
no, thank you for that, because a lot of folks bond over alcohol.
Yeah.
A lot of folks bond, but those are not friendships, guys. Those are your drink buddies, and you need to be careful about that. Yes. Other young ladies?
So I'll say the friends that you have, pray for those friends like you always do. But I also will say, just back to praying for the people that you figure out are not your friends, because I feel like your prayers matter as a person that's close to God. And once you recognize the need, it's kind of our responsibility to take it to God and then leave it alone.
Yes, yes.
Amen.
Very good, very good. Cam?
I there are a couple things I thought of as Miss Love was speaking, and thinking about myself, my own, journey, and like feeling like, okay, some people just don't get me like that, and thinking about making friends and
And
trying
it's
to,
okay.
it's okay. I think it's important to remember you don't have to change yourself to try to become friends with people. I think remember to be yourself and to trust God, like and pray, like trust God to bring the people around you, who will be actual friends rather than trying to force a situation or trying to maneuver yourself into a space that's not really you, right? So, yeah, don't do things to try to like impress people. Don't try to change your personality. Like, be yourself, trust God, you'll be fine.
Right. And when you said that, it just made me think of, instead of finding purpose and fitting in, find your purpose.
Right.
Oh, look at Crystal. Yes.
All right now. Sounds like a word right there.
Right,
Sounds like a word.
right. Find your purpose instead of finding your purpose and
That's
fitting
when
in.
people change to fit in. They're looking for something that they're not going to get from people.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And ultimately, I always tell folks, never compromise God for anybody. But I just think in general that you shouldn't compromise like that. I'm not talking about if you have to make minor changes, like when you get married, sleeping on the opposite side of the bed. I'm not talking about that. I mean, like compromising who you are, your core values, the core of who you are, because when you do that, people end up losing respect for you and they walk away anyway. So,
Wow.
I love what Kamali, well, everyone on here has been saying, Deacon Loving, be true to who God has created you to be. And when you are true to who you are, even if someone walks away, if that person's supposed to be in your life, they come back. If they're not supposed to be, they never will. And it's okay. You have to be okay with that. And, so I do. Yes, go ahead, Kamali.
One more thing. Miss Love, did you get your results?
Yes,
Oh,
I was just getting ready to send a message to Rev over there, let her know I did get my results, and I finished the test
so
finally, right?
number
Um,
one, who you?
sure. And number one, they found that I am a peacekeeper,
Okay, I have
uh,
that.
a philomath. I don't know what that is. I have to look that up, but that's number two. Number three, I'm a coach. And number four, I'm uh, an optimist
Oh,
and optimist coach. Yes. One, two, three, four. Okay. I might be
Philomath
missing
is
one.
the lover of learning.
huh?
Oh, okay. So I learned a new word. Yes. That is that
Oh,
I agree with that.
me too. I'm a lover of
I didn't know what a philomath was. I didn't know if
learning.
that
Oh,
was
okay, I love
a
that
good
though. But
thing
yes,
or a
but
pedophile or what. I mean, I just I didn't know.
you're a
I'm just
lover of
saying.
learning. She is a lover of learning.
I am.
She
That
really
that
is.
is
She
true.
really is. So
It's true.
yes. So I want to let me thank some folks that have been on. Miss Paulette Wrighton, thank you for joining. Shireen is laughing. Shireen Faith is getting a kick out of this, really. Bishop, Kareen Gardner. Hello, Evangelist Kareen, and Debbie Ann and Bishop Anderson. Thank you all for watching, and whoever watches this even after. But thanks for those who join on the live and for those who will see this after. I pray that it will in some way, shape, or form help you to evaluate the friendships you're in, because sometimes you're in a toxic relationship and you're afraid to let it go. You don't want to walk away, but it can really take you down a rabbit hole and mess up your life, and to know that if you're in a relationship with someone who's envious of you or jealous of you, I don't know how. Maybe you can ask one of these three young ladies on here, like, is that good to have someone who is envious or jealous of you close to you? I'm not thinking so in my spirit.
Personally, I find it a little bit dramatic and annoying. Because
And
I'm just gonna be honest. I just feel like, if you have the liberty to utilize your energy to put forth envy, then something is off. I mean, there are plenty of other emotions, other things that you can put your energy into rather
That's true.
than waste it on envy.
Yeah,
That
I
and
do.
envy is not conducive to a good friendship.
No,
Envy
it's
is not
not.
conducive to growth. So
No.
it's time consuming for you and time consuming for the friend to manage that. No,
it's
thank you.
it's a lot.
I Go ahead, Kamali. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say not only time consuming, it's draining having to do that. That's a lot. And also like that's not even worth it. Like
No.
wanting to, wanting to be as good at something or wanting to be, just like this, like it doesn't add to your life at all, right? Like no matter how much you envy this trait that person has, that doesn't mean you're going to get it from them. You're not going to take it from, you know what I mean? Like it's a really weird behavior to like extend your energy into.
Yeah. That's true. I like what you said. On that note, as I said, energy is a wasted emotion, guys. Don't waste any more of it. Put it into something more positive.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, ladies, for today's Wake the Nation. Right. So next month we'll be back. It's going to be not a soft topic, but it will be one that will be equally beneficial, I think, right? Yes. Okay, so have a good night, everyone. And thank you once again, ladies, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and address the nation. Thank you.
Thank
Blessings. Have a good
you.
Thank you for having us.
night. Thank
Bye.
All
you.
right.
Night,
Mhm.
everyone.
Good night.